Yo, 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 what is up, you guys? It is your boy, HamzaConnection, coming at you live. And welcome you to the podcast episode where I talk about my journey on becoming the strongest version of myself. And today's episode is about thinking about your long term goals and taking the tough decision as early as possible. And let me give you some backstory, something so you get where I'm coming from. So basically, this year, 2019, I decided that I want to try to reach the best shape that I've ever been in. And I have specific criteria that I've set up. Um, and I have a visual of how I want to be looking and stuff like that. Um, and these are the things. So I have decided that now today is April, and I've been working on this goal, not focused, but to somewhat. The last couple of months have been focused. After I made that episode about the importance of focusing on one thing at a time, I actually been really focused on the fitness because that's what I told you guys I wanted to prioritize. And I've seen like some good results, some really good results. Definitely growing stronger and all of that stuff. So that episode, I definitely applied my own advice, and and it helped me out in that area. But this time, I'm putting something off. I'm putting something off, and I can feel it because I want to achieve that super lean look for me. And the problem here is that I'm half-assing it, and the problem with that is that it's gonna take so much longer because I'm half-assing it. Because why? I'm resisting to going straight towards the goal. And what I mean by that is right now I want to lose weight. Right? I've lost a little bit of weight when I compared to when I started, but now it's stalled out. I'm not tracking my food, and my weight's going up and down. And I need to implement a new thing because at first, what I did was I started cutting out certain things out of my diet. I started doing, for instance, intermittent fasting, so I didn't eat breakfast. Automatically, with doing intermittent fasting, that helped me for quite a while with restricting calories. But I realized that I might not get as much protein as I need, so I started drinking protein shakes. And I think that helped me more. But it was hard at some point. I stopped losing weight. So I started implementing the salad method, right? And I haven't been super consistent with that, somewhat. Trying to make some salads here and there. Uh, the specific thing here is that I want to point out is now I have stalled. So I have changed some of those things in my life, and now they're stalled. Usually I would eat like candy at my work throughout the day. I stopped doing that. It's only on the monthly meetings and maybe sometimes on Fridays. So, and there, when somebody has a birthday, which is pretty much a lot of the time. But I've still been seeing results, but now I'm stalling out. Obviously, yeah, I could cut that thing out and be like, I'm never not gonna eat candy, not even on Fridays. And when we talk about candy, we don't talk about like a lot of candy. And candy, what I mean by candy is like, for instance, a croissant, like one croissant, for instance. That would be it. So you guys don't think like I eat crazy amount of candy or one piece of cake. Sometimes I go hard, I go crazy on my cheat days, and whenever I decide to have a cheat day. So I'm not very disciplined because I eat a lot uh, of bad things. But I digress. The point here is I'm trying to making is that if I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be a very, very slow progress. Yeah, I'm cutting out this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and sometimes I'm doing this and sometimes I'm not doing that. That's too inconsistent. That's too inconsistent. And I have to look at the long term. So what would bring me the best results long term? And that is super important. And this is a very, very hard thing that I'm talking about. This principle is very hard to instill because I believe that it's super hard for me at least, like doing the things that's the best long term. Because this is the problem. I've been putting off because I know back in the days I used to track my food. Now I don't really feel like it. But that was when I gotten the best results. But I was like, I don't really want to go into that. Then I have to cook. I can't eat it out. I can't do this. And there's all of these like problems with tracking food. I have to sign out of the canteen at my work, so I can't eat food there because I can't track it and all of that stuff. And it seems like a fucked up lifestyle, basically. And I don't want it to control me. But sometimes I have to realize this. There's phases to the shit, and sometimes you have to take the next level decision. You have to take what's best. You can't procrastinate. And I realized that I was bullshitting myself because I wanted to achieve that super lean look. And I know you can do it without that, but I think that this, with my current knowledge, at least right now, that the best way to do it is just to track. It's just to track your food intake because then you know which stage you've gone wrong and you can analyze how and why and what you ate and all of that stuff. And you also start to get a fundamental understanding of, hey, how much calories is a banana really? And what nutrients do you get there? How much is a salad or avocado or fats or bread, a piece of bread or cake or candy? How many calories is there? Because when you think about it, like, okay, you buy, for instance, a Burger King menu or curly fries and stuff like that. Just the fries alone, the curly fries alone, like the large one, has like around like 500 calories, right? And you have the burger and then you have the soda and all of the stuff. It's gonna add up to. I haven't done the calculations because I can't remember from back in the days, but I think it's around 1,200 for a large Burger King menu. So those are the things, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I think it's around 1,000 without the soda, because I never drank the soda, so I think I remember it to be like around 1,000. But 1,000 calories for that's a lot of calories compared to if you make your own meals. Yeah. Also, if you do pasta dishes, I remember the ones that I did at home was like 900 calories. So you get an understanding of how many calories each thing is, but also how much protein is in this, how much fat is in this, how much sugar is in that. And that brings you more awareness. So I definitely believe that it would be a good thing. And the point here that I'm trying to make is that I've been putting off that decision. Think about it. Not wasted, I could say. I gained progress, but I could have gotten so much more if I had just went all out. From the first day I started, try to use the first 2 or 3 weeks or 1 month to learn, to watch YouTube videos, learn how to make foods, all of that stuff, prepare what I'm going to be doing for the meal prep, then signing out of the canteen, all the stuff. Right now, I made a definite plan. I made a plan with phase 1, starting to watch some of the YouTube videos to learn how to make the food. Phase 2, actually experimenting, making the food and all of that stuff and seeing. Phase 3, tracking that. So now I'm feeling like, hey, I've done that. And then phase 4, sign at the canteen and start only eating the foods that you eat for a period of time. And then phase 5 is pretty much like reevaluating my plan. Like, okay, so some problems are bound to occur, and I don't really want to think about the problems that's gonna occur. I've thought about some of them, like for instance, oh, I have to go out with my girlfriend and we're gonna eat out. Hey, how am I gonna compensate for that? Or like, let's say I eat some candy at work. Should I can I not do it at all, or can I still do it and then just add 100 calories or 200 calories or stuff like that, go in a larger deficit? It's like, how do I want to do that? And those are things I don't know, but I think I will be better at making the decision once I am in the situation of making meals or making that. Because maybe I'm super fulfilled about all the fancy meals I get to make and all of that stuff, and then I realize that, oh, I don't even really want candy. I'm gonna cut it out at all. So those are the things, man. Those are the things. Like, if I have just, like, I lost so much time. If I had just started January with doing that kind of shit, man, I would have been so much further ahead. Now, I'm not going to dwell in the past, but that's just something I have to learn. So sometimes you have to make the big decision. What is the best long-term strategy? And did you implement that? And sometimes funny enough, sometimes it's the hardest strategy because it would have been hard for me to be like, I'm going to track my food and I'm going to do this and all of that stuff. When the other method worked for a period of time. But if I had used 4 months to start tracking food and all of that, I would have gotten used to it by now. I would have gone through the pain before. Now I have to go through the pain, which I don't mind because right now I am going to try and do that. I'm going to implement that. I'm not going to set it as a goal. So like right from now on, I'm going to track everything. That's not the goal. Still, I want to also do it in manageable blocks. So I'm chunking up my goals. And that is a very important principle as well. So you make the big decision that this is the thing that you want, right? And then you figure out how you can get to where that's decision. For me, it's meal prep. Now I take that thing because that's quite a huge thing. And that has a lot of implications as I talked to you about, as I told you guys. And then you chunk it up. So I chunked it up in phases. So phase one, learning how to actually cook. Watch it by watching YouTube video. So that's a specific action. So now, instead, when I'm watching the self-improvement YouTube videos, or when I am listening to audiobooks, or when I'm reading books, I don't actually read that much right now at the current moment. But instead of doing those activities, I will watch meal prep cooking videos. And that's what I'm going to do. And I will experiment with doing those things. And then seeing, hey, now I have a good list of recipes. I have a good things, ideas. Because somebody out there does know, hey, these are cool for meal preps and all this stuff. And I'm going to make them. I'm going to realize, hey, how I can make it the fastest, the quickest way, all that stuff, protein, carbs, all of that stuff. I need to plan that out. And those are the things. So I'm splitting it up instead of being like, okay, I'm tracking everything. Oh shit, wait, I haven't signed out of this one and I still need to make this. Oh, I don't have time to make this. I'm actually slowly going to incorporate it, but still, I'm going to do it because I want to be consistent by chunking it up. That's going to make it easier to implement, but that's also going to make it big. So it sort of contradicts itself. Yeah, make the big decision at start and all this stuff and implement it, but also chunk it down because you have to do it in manageable pieces. If you don't do it in manageable pieces, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble because you also want your other areas in life to go well. So right now, I feel like I got the training down. I'm training hard. I've increased the volume, all of that stuff, and now I am training consistently. I'm even trying to add like an extra day. So I'm training 4 weeks, 4 times a day. I'm trying to add like that extra day, but that seems very, very hard for me with the current volume that I have. So I might not add the extra day, but I'm gonna use that extra day that I normally would have trained, the 5th day training for what? For learning how to do the meal prep. Because when that is in order, I'll have calories, I'll have a good amount of energy. Even though I'm cutting, I will have my protein so that my training is effective. Because then I know that I'm not losing muscle because I'm not eating enough protein in a calorie deficit. Because losing weight doesn't mean that I'm losing fat. That means that I'm just losing weight. Some of it is muscle, some of it is fat, and I want to maximize muscle retention. Like I want to keep my muscle as much as possible, and I want to lose as much fat as possible. And sometimes that has to be a very slow progress. I'll take it because I don't want to lose my muscle because I want to achieve that super lean look. And then at some point, I'm gonna cycle with bulking, cutting, and all of that stuff. Pretty much, I got the plan. Some of it written down, some of it's still in my head, but I really just wanted to jump in with the podcast episode because now I had it fresh in mind and it's something that I'm actually implementing at the current moment, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So what I want you guys to do right now is to think about areas in your life where you have not made that big decision, because you need to take that big decision and go towards something. Go towards something. Because even though you figure out that it's wrong, you have made the decision. Because indecision is not. It's something that you are going to be regretting. Let's say you use 5 years in training, but you haven't really trained. You have half-assed it for 5 years, and you have half-assed your diet. You're not going to see really good results. Now, sometimes it makes sense to just go full out and see the fastest result. Because if I think that if I go full out right now with the meal prepping and the counting calories, I think I will start to see a lot of results. A lot of results. And those are going to be the things. I will actually also take a before and after photo now, even though right now I've been training for some time. Take a before and after photo, and then probably post it on my Instagram once I've reached that 100-day challenge, or maybe I will wait till I reach some really good results with my body and stuff like that. But I know, hey, and then I can share with you guys. Maybe I make a podcast episode of how I reach that form when I achieve it, like the do's and don'ts and all that stuff. Because I'm probably gonna learn a lot about it in the journey. So that's gonna be it for me, man. I really want you guys to make the decision. And sometimes it's like, that, hey, I'm not willing to do this. Like, for instance, I wasn't willing to do this before, so I was like, nah. But I realized that, hey, how much do you want the song? How bad do you really want it? I want it really bad. So that's why I want to do things really bad. And that's why I'm going to implement this shit. I'm going to implement this shit. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it works and how it's going to affect my lifestyle and all that stuff. Experimenting with it and seeing, once again, what it's going to do for me. And if it seems to work, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to keep it. Whew. So, figure it out, you guys. And if you like this episode and you found it useful, hit the like button and give me a comment down below with feedback. If I would love to hear what you guys have been procrastinating on in terms of your big decision in life. Like, comment on that below, or if you have any topics, things that you want to talk about, or any questions, comment that below and hit the subscribe button. And take care, guys. Peace.